Right now on News 3, flooding continues to plague southern Wisconsin with more rain on the way.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. It has now been 3 weeks since the start of this historic flooding across much of southern Wisconsin.
And with last night's rain and more chances in the near future, things don't appear to be getting any better anytime soon.
Once again, we have team coverage across southern Wisconsin.
Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti in the Weather Center. Rose Schmidt keeping an eye on the flooding conditions here in Madison. Amy Reed in Sauk County.
Let's go to Gary first, who has a look at your first alert forecast. Gary.
Well, Charlotte, in the short term, we've got more rain on the way from tonight into tomorrow, then maybe a couple of days of dry weather. Let's start out by taking a look at alert days we have in the forecast. Later on tonight, we'll see some thunderstorms. Some of those could produce heavy rain and gusty winds. Showers and thunderstorms continuing into tomorrow could cause more problems with flooding, even with lighter amounts of rain. A flood warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. for Crawford, Richland, Vernon, southern Juneau, and southern portions of Monroe County, basically north and west of the Wisconsin River. Flash flood watch begins at 10 p.m. and runs through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. Precipitation over the next 24 to 36 hours, looking at about an inch to an inch and a half, generally over southern Wisconsin. Could be some amounts of 2 or 3 inches or more, especially in heavier thunderstorms closer to the La Crosse area. That's where the higher likelihood of rain is, and that's an area that just got hit very hard last night with 3 to 6 inches of rain from just north of Prairie du Chien to around Richland Center to west of the Dells. Most of the rest of southern Wisconsin has received 1 to 3 inches of rain. Right now, just a couple of pop-up isolated showers and thunderstorms. The more widespread rains are out to the west. A tornado watch in effect until 10 p.m. just north and west of our viewing area. I think the severe weather potential here is pretty limited because the storms will be arriving later tonight. Low temperatures start out very mild this morning thanks to the muggy air. 70 the overnight low in Madison. Temperatures right now mid to upper 80s, and with dew point temperatures in the lower to middle 70s, it feels like temperatures are in the lower 90s thanks to the heat index. By tomorrow morning, look for showers and thunderstorms to be developing. Low temperatures dropping to the lower 70s. Tomorrow's high temperature only reaching 76 as a cold front comes through. Showers and storms continuing through the day. That's your first alert forecast.
All right, Gary, thank you. Sauk County Emergency Management says water levels on the Baraboo River are expected to be higher than last week.
This is after 7 to 8 inches of rain fell in the Laval area overnight. Our Amy Reed has the latest on the flooding concerns there.
We're at Reedsburg High School right now, and this is where the volunteers are set up, packing sandbags. They're loading up sandbags here and then filling these trucks as full as they'll go. Then they're taking them down to the homes nearest the river, building up blockades against the rising river. Now, many of these people thought that last week was the end of it, but then they found out today the river is rising again, and Sauk County Emergency Management told them to prepare for even higher levels than last week. Down Highway 33 in Laval, they are already starting to see that flooding, and that's going to work its way down the Baraboo River, down into Reedsburg about 12 hours after it hits Laval, then down to Rock Springs, North Freedom, eventually making its way down into Baraboo. So they are getting prepared all down that chain. Now here in Reedsburg, they are worried about the levels tomorrow. They've canceled school for people that were going back to school. Tomorrow they'll decide if they want to hold it for the rest of the week. We're going to stay here. We're going to follow this story, bring you updates tonight, News 3 at 10 and on channel3000.com. Amy Reed, WISC News 3.
The Montello School District has canceled its first week of classes due to flooding. The city has received about 16 inches of rainfall. The district says the water has compromised Highway 22, which is an access point for about a third of all students. As of now, the school district is scheduled to open on Monday. Officials hope to share a comprehensive plan with students and parents by Thursday.
And we want to mention officials in Boston have opened a shelter for flood victims. Water from Decorah Lake and the Lemonweir River have risen over streets in multiple areas there. The Department of Health and Human Services says the shelter opened this afternoon at Boston High School. Police Chief Michael Zilish tells us there are no mandatory evacuations, but many residents have chosen to leave their homes because water and electricity has been turned off in parts of the city.
4 of Dane County's lakes are at their summer maximum levels. Lakes Monona, Mendota, Waubesa, and Kaganza are filled to the brim after historic rains hit the area about 2 weeks ago and sporadically ever since. Rose Schmidt is live at Olin Park to show us the water level of Lake Monona.
Well, Charlotte, Lake Monona has reached a new historic high. The lakes have all risen over the past 24 hours slightly, but they're steady now, at least until more rain hits the area. The goal of the Dane County Lakes Management Team is to release water as slowly as possible so that people see a gradual rise on the lakes and there isn't a significant amount of water on residential streets. It's a balancing act for Dane County and the state's Department of Natural Resources, which established the current lake level orders.
One difficult thing during high water periods is the question of, well, why are you choosing to manage the lakes beyond that maximum level? And the tools that we have to control the water levels are actually pretty limited.
The lake levels go up consistent with rainfall, so Laura says the lakes can absorb a few inches of rain, but more than that would present some challenges. The lakes will continue to be high for weeks, if not months, but she says in the meantime, the county's best defense is to clean debris out of the lakes and hope to keep the water moving through the system here.
Rose Schmidt reporting tonight. Rose, thank you.
The flooding in Middleton also being blamed for the closure of a popular restaurant. According to the State Department of Workforce Development, P.F. Chang's there on Deming Way has now permanently closed as of September 1st. 36 people lost their jobs. The department says the facility closing was unexpected and caused by unforeseen natural circumstances, specifically the damage from the flooding. And a reminder, for the latest weather information on the go, check out our Channel 3000 weather and traffic app. Up-to-date information, all for free. Just search Channel 3000 in your app store. 2 Reedsburg parents are being charged with child neglect for fasting their children for more than 45 days each, facing up to 37.5 years in prison, $125,000 in fines.
We are learning more about the family's living conditions and how one of the sons tried to ask for help. Our Amanda Quintana reports.
Kehinde Amosbai appeared in court today alone without his wife, Titileo. Both of the Reedsburg parents are facing 2 charges of child neglect for fasting their 2 children for at least 45 days, ending in the death of their 15-year-old son and the great bodily harm of their 11-year-old. Today, a judge granting Kehinde a $5,000 cash bond because it's believed he's a flight risk. He told police they were fasting, waiting for God's blessing to let them know they could move to Atlanta, Georgia.
I had never seen him before.
Travis Dank lives just across the street from the Amosbai's home. He says he didn't even know anyone lived there.
We didn't see anybody come in, go out, anything, and it's just up the street from us.
When the police came to the Amosbai's house here on Alexander Avenue, they say the doors were padlocked. They found a 15-year-old son dead and an 11-year-old thin, emaciated, and in need of medical treatment.
It just should never happen like that.
Court documents show the padlocks made it so that people inside couldn't leave the house. There was no electricity, plates or utensils, personal hygiene products, nothing, just 4 chairs. Police also found a letter written by the 11-year-old who is still in the hospital. It was addressed to lawyers of Sauk County and read, "I can't continue in such a life with no food. I'll probably die of hunger."
Whether it's their religion or whatever, but I mean, I'm hurt that it happened that far, and I'm hurt that I didn't know or see anything, just for the fact that if I would have seen something, I would have called the police, and I would have done something.
In Reedsburg, Amanda Quintana, WISC News 3.
Kehinde originally told police he was a religious minister at Cornerstone Reformation Ministries. Police do not believe that church exists.
His attorney says he speaks Urdu language and has been in the United States for 12 years.
Police have released a picture of a Madison bank robber, hoping the public can help identify him. Madison police say this man robbed the Associated Bank on West Broadway around 2:15 Friday afternoon. He's described as a white man, about 25 years old, 5'6", and about 150 pounds. Anyone with information should call Madison police. After 47 years on Regent Street, Fraboni's Italian Specialties is now closed. The store was first opened on Regent in July of 1971. According to its website, the owners decided to merge the 2 stores into one central location. The Fraboni's on Monona will remain open and continue to offer all the favorites that were available on Regent Street. Still ahead tonight, a big day for kids and parents. It is back to school.
And when we come back, how a new principal is hoping to turn things around at a Rock County high school. A big day for parents and for the kids. Back to school for the Madison Metropolitan School District Superintendent Jen Cheatham. She was at Leopold Elementary greeting families as they dropped off their little ones. Over the summer, the district updated its strategic framework, and this year it focuses on core values. That includes excellence, but also closing the achievement gap in Dane County, like racial inequality, and also pushing for social justice.
Streamlining our priorities to focus on the things that are most high impact, better planning for the future, and working on being more innovative as a school district, which I'm personally really excited about.
Dr. Cheatham says teachers will also be focused on voice and creativity this school year. For more information on that strategic framework, go to the story at channel3000.com. The first day of school always brings new students to the classroom, but for Beloit Memorial High School, the new faces are in the office.
The school has a new principal and a new superintendent. Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us from our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with the changes these new administrators plan to make. Adam?
Well, when you're at a new school, you know that first impressions matter. And Orlando Ramos, the new principal at Beloit Memorial, knows this better than anyone. And that's why today he chose to make his first impression before the students even got into the building. Today, Beloit Memorial students started their first day in style, cheered on by their teachers and their new principal.
It's a new season. You know, it's like when you go out to the park and you go see the Brewers or the Cubs or the Packers, you know, there's always that excitement about opening day.
Orlando Ramos has spent time teaching and leading schools across the country, with stops in New York, California, and Milwaukee. He says the commitment the Beloit community shows to its students made Beloit Memorial stand out as a job opportunity.
One thing that is absolutely just phenomenal was the investment and the love for the high school.
Ramos says he wants to bring a system of accountability to Beloit Memorial. This year, students will have to complete 2 ACT-level essays in each of their classes. And thanks to an online program, parents will be able to follow their students' progress with the essays from home.
So parents are going to be able to log in and say, hey, John, how come this essay has not been completed yet? So we're going to, you know, it's an accountability.
And that's not the only way Ramos says he plans on getting parents involved.
Every week, our teachers are going to make 1 to 3 positive phone calls home. The days of calling homes just for negative purposes, that's over.
Because he says the way to improve the way Beloit Memorial operates is to raise the standards.
That we are raising the bar. We're going to raise the academic achievement by raising the bar.
Now, Ramos says he knows that some of these ideas might not be so popular with students to start, but says it's his goal to build college-ready students. Just goes to show the nerves are not always reserved for the students on the first day of school.
Adam Duxter in our Rock County Bureau tonight. Adam, thank you. There is more to come tonight on News 3.
When we come back, the Badger football team down 1 spot in the AP College Football Poll. Who took their spot? That's ahead in sports.
Showers and thunderstorms are likely again from later tonight through tomorrow. That could lead to additional flooding. We'll have a couple of dry days after that, and then we'll have to watch out what happens with the remnants of Tropical Storm Gordon. I'll have your first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Well, Gary joins us. We're looking at weather to our west, what it might bring tonight, as well as the hurricane down in the Gulf could impact us.
Well, fortunately for the Gulf Coast, it probably won't be quite a hurricane when it hits. It'll be just a strong tropical storm. But the moisture that brings northward will bring flooding down there and could bring flooding to parts of the Midwest. We'll just have to see where. Let's start out by taking a look at alert days in the forecast. This is for tonight and tomorrow for showers and thunderstorms. Best chances later on tonight. Could have gusty winds and heavy rainfall and some of the heavier thunderstorms. And then tomorrow, showers and thunderstorms are likely. Not all of them will be heavy. In fact, very few of them will be heavy, but any additional rainfall will just cause more problems with flooding. Flood warning remains in effect until 9 p.m. for areas north of the Wisconsin River. Flash flood watch starts at 10 p.m., runs till 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, west of Platteville to Lone Rock to Wisconsin Dells line. Also, flash flood watch is in effect for parts of northwestern Illinois and eastern Iowa. Latest computer model forecast about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches of rain generally over southern Wisconsin. There could be some heavier amounts of 2 or 3 inches or more and heavier thunderstorms, more likely out toward the La Crosse area. That's where the storms have been already today and will probably linger there a little bit longer before they reach the southern part of the state, or at least most of our viewing area. Over the last 5 days, 3 to 6 inches of rain right along the Wisconsin-Illinois state line in areas to the south into much of eastern Iowa, and then a swath right up through just areas north of the Wisconsin River. And that was the area that got hit so hard earlier last week. So, I mean, this is 2 weeks in a row with excessive rainfall amounts. And then the rest of southern Wisconsin, general 1 to 3 inches just over the last 5 days, but more rain is on the way. The more widespread area of showers and thunderstorms is out to the west. There's a tornado watch until 10 p.m. just north and west of our viewing area. These storms will be weakening a little bit as they push towards southern Wisconsin later tonight. More likely heavy rain and maybe gusty wind threat than any kind of a tornado threat. But again, here in southern Wisconsin, just a couple of pop-up showers and isolated thunderstorms. The main event will come later on tonight. Live view for the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville. Some blue skies there. That's always a good sign. The more dry weather we can get, the better. The WISC Skycam looking off toward the east shows some thunderstorms on the far eastern horizon. They've been popping up near the Milwaukee area. The Edgewater Skycam downtown Madison showing hazy sunshine. Almanac for today shows our low temperature only start out at 70 degrees. Our average high is 76. High temperature so far 86, and right now we're at 86 with a southerly wind at 8 miles per hour. Dew point temperature at 70. It feels like it's about 90 degrees of the heat index. So here's Tropical Storm Gordon. Probably going to make landfall somewhere just to the west of New Orleans, weakens quickly into a tropical depression, and then gradually starts heading toward the north. Watch what happens, though, as we go from Friday into Saturday and Sunday. Gordon is forecast to go just to the south of us. Now, the farther south it goes, the better for us. It keeps the rain away. The farther north it goes, the better the chances that we could see another round of heavy rain this weekend. We certainly don't want that. So again, flash flood watch in effect north and west of Lone Rock through 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. 72 for the overnight low temperature. Showers and thunderstorms later on tonight. Tomorrow, off and on shower and thunderstorm chances, and it'll be cooler with a high temperature of 76 as a cold front comes through. You can see the best chances for showers and storms later on tonight through the day tomorrow as that cold front comes through. Notice the wind shifting around to the north. That starts to bring in drier air. Even the clouds start to clear out by early on Thursday morning, even though there'll be a little patchy fog. High temperatures on Thursday, upper 60s to lower 70s, much more refreshing. But before that happens, another 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain over much of southern Wisconsin. And then after that, we have a couple of dry days for Thursday and Friday. We'll watch the remnants of Gordon for the weekend. That'll determine our rain chances there. A couple more dry days early next week before thunderstorms develop toward the end of next week.
A couple of years ago, Jack Dunn was making plays against Monona Grove. Now he's becoming a dual threat with the Wisconsin Badgers. The story coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Carolla. Tonight on the news at 9, just in time for the start of school, the American Academy of Pediatrics is calling for a later start time for middle and high schoolers. We'll tell you why. That's first on Fox at 9.
Technically, this is the first Associated Press college football poll of the year. The last one was a preseason version. Anyway, a 34-3 win over Western Kentucky dropped the Badgers a spot from 4th to 5th. No change at the top where Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia hold their places. But Ohio State, which put 77 on Oregon State last Saturday, jumps the Badgers into 4th, while Wisconsin resides in 5th. Some other rankings of note: Notre Dame 8th, Penn State 13th, Michigan State 15th, Michigan 21st. This week, the Badgers have another home game. The New Mexico Lobos come to Camp Randall for an 11 a.m. start. New Mexico beat Incarnate Word 62-30 in its season opener last Saturday. Wisconsin, though, starts as a 35-point favorite over New Mexico this Saturday. In the Badgers' win against Western Kentucky, former Edgewood High School star Jack Dunn made a good impression. The walk-on sophomore caught his first collegiate pass for 20 yards as he helps replace the absence of suspended receivers Quintez Cephas and Danny Davis. He's making the most of his early season opportunity.
This is the most serious playing time I've gotten, so it just feels good to be out there in like some live game action again, where you've got the intensity and you feel kind of the importance of the moment. Definitely feels good to be back out there.
Dunn was a star quarterback at Edgewood High School, rushing for over 1,800 yards and 25 touchdowns as a senior. He was a preferred walk-on at Wisconsin. In addition to catching a pass Friday, he was the Badgers' punt returner in Davis's absence. He didn't get a return, but had 2 clean, fair catches. Now, you'd think a former quarterback wouldn't sign up for punt return duties, but Dunn's looked forward to it for a long time.
Growing up, I remember coming to games and watching Jim Leonard, and sometimes I'd go home and pretend I was returning punts in my basement and stuff like that. So I was always kind of thinking about it. When I came here, they told me they wanted to have me practice doing that stuff, so I was just looking forward to having an opportunity to do it.
The Packers start their regular routine today, Tuesday off, practice starting tomorrow. The season opener is Sunday night as the Chicago Bears come to Lambeau Field. The Bears have a new head coach in Matt Nagy, who was offensive coordinator at Kansas City. So the Packers have to wonder what the new Bears offense will be.
You know, the unscouted looks in the first, 3 to 4 weeks is going to be north of 30%. That's history will tell you that. Now you have a new offense, so there'll be some projection on how we think he'll use his players and tailor the scheme concepts to the way he's done it in the past.
The defending women's champion at the U.S. Open is out. Sloane Stephens loses to Anastasia Sevastova today in straight sets, 6-2, 6-2. At one point, someone in the crowd urged Stephens to pick it up in the second set, and Stephens shouted back, "I'm trying, dude." Stephens' loss means the highest-seeded woman left in the draw is the ace seed Karolina Pliskova, who's playing Serena Williams right now. And the Prep Mania High School Football Game of the Week returns Friday night. We're in Waunakee, where the defending state champion Warriors look as good as ever, but their big rivals from 10 miles down the road, DeForest, come to Warrior Stadium to try to mess things up. We're live on TVW and channel3000.com Friday night at 7. Enough of this college football on Friday night.
Fridays. That didn't feel quite right on Friday night, not having a game of the week. That'll be back, and Gary's back. Final check of the weather.
Maybe it'll be drying out for a couple of days before then, but you can see some pop-up showers and thunderstorms around here. More rain to our north and west will arrive later tonight. Rainfall amounts generally about 3/4 of an inch to 1.5 inches over southern Wisconsin. Heavier amounts and heavier thunderstorms. For tomorrow, 76 for a high, some rain chances over the weekend, then drier early next week.
Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us.
Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you back at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.